I was born in Nottinghamshire and was the third of five sons. My father was not a rich man, but he was able to send me to Cambridge University, where I studied for 3 years. When I left college, I continued my studies and became a doctor. But I always wanted to travel, and so I made several voyage ship doctor when I married my wife Mary. However, I planned to stay home while, but after a few years I discovered I was not earning enough money from my patient. I decided to go see again, and this time I joined a ship sailing to the Iceland in the South Pacific Ocean. We start our journey from Bristol on May 4, 1699. At first, our voyage went well. We sailed across the Atlantic Ocean, round the coast of Africa, and into the Indian Ocean. But before we could reach the Pacific, a violent storm hit us and drove us to the northwest of Tasmania. The wind drove our ship out onto a rock, which broke the ship in half. Some of the sailors and I managed to get aboard into the water, and we rowed away to look for land. But when we were too tired to row anymore, a great wave hit our small boat and we fell into the sea. I don't know what happened to my companions, but I supposed to they were all drowned. The wind and the waves pushed me along as I struggled to keep my head above the water. I became very tired and soon felt I could not swim anymore. Luckily, just my feet touched to the ground. I walked out of the sea and to a beach where there was no sign of any people houses. I was so exhausted that I lay down and went to the sleep. When I woke up the next morning and tried to get up, I could not move. I was lying on my back and whole body, my arms and legs were strongly fastened on the ground. Even my hair, which was long and thick, was tied onto the ground. The sun began to grow hot and I was very uncomfortable. Soon I felt something alive moving on my leg, up my body to my face. And when I looked down, I saw a very small human being, only 15 centimeters tall, had a bow and arrow in his hands, and there were 40 more of this. Little men following was so surprised that I gave a great shout. They all jumped back very frightened, and some hurt themselves by falling off my body. Meanwhile, I was struggling to unfasten my but just as I managed to pull left arm free of the ropes, I felt 100 arrows land on my free hand and more arrows on my face body. This was very painful and made me cry aloud. I lay quietly to see what happened next. When I saw I was no longer struggling, they quickly built a platform next to my head. An official climbed up there, speaking to me although I could not understand his language. I understood that they would be friendly towards me if did not try to harm them. But now I was extremely hungry, so I used to sign language to beg official official for food. He seemed to understand me because immediately ladders were pushed against me, size and little. Men climbed up with baskets of food and drink. They were surprised at how much I could eat and drink. In just one mouthful, I ate three meat dishes, and three of that was still thirsty because that was only half liter. While they were bringing me food, I wondered whether to pick up a handful of little men and throw them to their death. But I was afraid they would shoot at me again. And anyway, I was grateful for their kindness in giving me food and drink. so I did not move. After some time, another official climbed up to the platform and spoke me from his signs. I understood that they were going to move me. The king of this country, which called Lilliput, has ordered me people to carry me to the capital city about a kilometer away. I made signs to ask whether I could be united, but the official politely refused. Well, while I was eating, a platform had been seen prepared to carry me. The people of Lilliput, known as Lilliputians, are very intelligent and clever. With their hands, for me, 500 men built a special wooden platform with 22 wheels. 900 of the strongest men worked for about 3 hours to lift me on the platform, and 1,500 of the king's large horses, each 11 each 11.5 centimeters high, pull me to capital. I did not know about any of this because they had pulled up a sleeping powder in my wine and I was deep asleep. The king had decided I would stay in the largest available a voyage Lilliput. Building just outside the city gates, its door was only a meter high and half a meter wide, so I could not just get inside on my hands and knees. My guards put 91 chains on my left leg so that I could not escape. Then they cut the ropes and that tied me, and I was able to get my feet. As I stood up, I heard cries of astonishment and all around me. I felt rather miserable, but at least I could walk about now. In 2 meter circle, I was certainly interesting sight of Lilliputian who had come out of the city in crowds of several thousand to see me. Now I had a good view of the countryside. The fields looked like flower beds in garden, and even the tallest trees were only 2 meter high. My guards put the lecturing. I, I was soon visited the I was soon visited by the king himself. He has a strong, handsome face and is very popular among the people. He arrived with his queen, his children, and his lords and ladies, all dressed in beautiful gold and silver clothes. In order to make conversation easier, I lay my side so that my face was close to him. I spoke him to all in the languages I knew, but we still could not understand each other. The king ordered his people to make me a bed using 600 Lilliputian beds. It was not very comfortable, but it was